Seattle isn't just known for its espresso shots and endless gray drizzle. It is a whole mood. Come 2025, the Seahawks defense embraced that gloom, branding themselves the dark side, a brutal squad of headhunters posting a defensive DVOA of -24.1%. That figure eclipses even the fabled Legion of Boom, proving these monsters feed off the misery of a wet Pacific Northwest winter. For the past 5 months, they have been burying opposing offenses deep in the soggy grass of Lumen Field. The question is, does this unit wear the crown as the absolute best defense of 2025? More critically, can they keep cleaning up the spills of a high-octane but turnover-happy offense and drag this squad all the way to a championship?
He's pressured. He's in trouble. Heaves it up. Oh, no!
It's an interception. Coming back to the near side. And this one goes to the house.
Boys ready? Hell yeah! Go, boys ready? Hell yeah! 5 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
It is grim, soaked, and chilly. And this season, the Seattle defense decided to become the physical embodiment of that gloom. Rain, wind, fine. Sucks for them, sure, but it is perfect for us. The dark side isn't just a cool name, it is a creed the defense lives by. The moment they cleat the turf, their mission is to kill the lights on the other team's offense. And they have executed that perfectly all season. The 2025 Seahawks locked down the #1 defensive ranking in the NFL per DVOA metrics. If you are wondering what DVOA means in simple terms, it tracks how totally dominant a unit is on every single snap compared to the league average. In this stat, negative numbers are gold, and Seattle's rating of -24.1% didn't just lead the pack. It stands as one of the most legendary defensive performances in the history of the analytic. They surrendered a measly 17.2 points per contest, topping the charts in the league. And they didn't take the easy road to get there. This group stared down adversity that would have shattered a weaker squad. Now, don't get it twisted. The offense had firepower. They fielded the game's premier wideout and sat in the top 10 for nearly every major statistical category. However, their signal caller, Sam Darnold, seemed to have greased his palms before every snap. He was the league leader in fumbles, constantly gifting opponents prime field position. Yet, the dark side never griped. No finger-pointing, no drama. They just buckled their chin straps and extinguished the flames. Sitting 6th league-wide with 25 takeaways, they spent the year mopping up the spills left by the offense. And nobody literally, we mean nobody could run the rock on this front. They are unreal.
Stepped up every single game for us. Can't say enough great things about that defense. You know, it was tough in training camp and OTAs going up against them, but I'm glad they're on our side.
Seattle is currently riding a scorching streak of 26 straight regular season matchups without giving up a single 100-yard rusher. The last time a back broke the century mark on Seattle, the country was still debating the 2024 election results. They didn't even permit a rushing score until the 5th week of the 2025 campaign. It was a suffocating blanket of doom that forced teams into a one-dimensional corner and then beat them senseless for it. The Legion of Boom was loud and arrogant. The dark side is silent, terrifying, and inescapable.
One more. Here we go. Bring it up. Bring it up, man. Here we go.
The Seattle skipper has constructed a system that offensive coordinators nationwide are calling diabolical. And honestly, the shoe fits. Macdonald's entire philosophy hinges on the illusion of chaos. Before the snap, the defense looks like a disorganized fire drill. Linebackers hovering in the A-gaps, safeties rocketing toward the line, corners feigning a blitz. It looks like an all-out assault, so the QB adjusts protection, kills the play, and snaps it. Then the trap springs. Seattle drops 7 or 8 defenders into coverage, clogging every passing lane with bodies. But here is the sleight of hand. They still shatter the pocket. Seattle ranked 7th with 47 sacks, generating most of that pressure with just a 4-man rush. It creates a calculus problem that offenses simply cannot solve. Keep extra blockers to stop the rush. Great. Now, nobody is open downfield against 7 Hawks. Send everyone on routes. Macdonald's 4-man stunts and twists will pulverize your front line instantly. It is a pick-your-poison dilemma where both cups are lethal. The scheme demands versatility, and Seattle has it in buckets. They feature safeties who hit like linebackers, and linebackers who hunt QBs like ends. They have tackles dropping into coverage zones, While you don't want Jaron Reed chasing slot receivers all day, this flexibility lets them own the West. Everything was on the line during that final regular season showdown with the Niners, the top seed. The bragging rights and the game plan was absolute perfection. They completely strangled San Francisco's juggernaut offense, choking them down to a measly 173 yards of total production. Brock Purdy was running for his life on almost half his dropbacks, trapped in a chaotic masterpiece of pure brutality and disguise. Coach Macdonald lives by a simple creed: you don't get to hunt the quarterback until you've stuffed the run and earned that privilege.
I want to give Mike Macdonald, I don't know what kind of speech he had before the game. They had every answer for everything the 49ers wanted to run offensively.
Of course, X's and O's don't mean a thing without the savages to execute them. And Seattle is packing a whole roster of absolute beasts. What makes this defense terrifying isn't just one guy, it's a galaxy of stars, kicking off in the backfield with their live wire. Devin Witherspoon. Imagine a linebacker hopped up on 5 shots of caffeine playing cornerback. That is exactly how this dude operates. Mike Macdonald labeled him the pulse of the defense. And even though he was banged up and missed some snaps, Witherspoon was omnipresent all season long. Snagging that second-team All-Pro nod was a no-brainer because he pulls off stunts that guys at his position have no business making. Whether he is wrecking screens, screaming off the edge, or stuffing runners in the backfield, his vibe is totally contagious. Now, let's shift gears to the heavy hitters, anchoring the center of the line. Byron Murphy, that first-rounder from 2024, spent last year being the trench warrior nobody talked about, grinding out the thankless tasks that never make the headlines. Fast forward to this season, though, and the spotlight finally found him. Leading all D tackles with 7 sacks is impressive, but the box score ignores how he devoured double teams and crushed pockets so his teammates could feast. While we are on the subject of feasting, we have to mention the crafty veteran holding it down, DeMarcus Lawrence. In his debut year in the Pacific Northwest, the seasoned defensive end showed everyone he is far from running on empty. He topped the squad with 11 tackles for loss, but his 2025 highlight reel was defined by his mastery of the scoop and score. During that Week 10 clash with Arizona, Lawrence pulled off a stunt that broke the laws of physics, scooping up 2 loose balls and taking both to the house in one afternoon. That performance etched his name in the record books as just the 4th player in league history to ever do that. He was a scoring machine for a full hour of football, but he wasn't the only playmaker out there. Ernest Jones IV was an absolute revelation. Not only did he pace the defense with 126 stops, but he also transformed into a ball hawk, grabbing a team-high 5 picks with 150 return yards and a score to boot. He served as the adhesive, keeping the linebacker core intact, earning himself a second-team All-Pro selection for his grind. We haven't even touched on the fresh blood yet, specifically Nickery. This safety stepped onto the gridiron looking like a decade-long pro, swatting away 11 passes and patrolling the turf with wild intensity. Everywhere you looked, this unit had killers, with Reek Woolen and Josh Jobe locking down the perimeter. Up front, Leonard Williams and Uchenna Nwosu crushed the pocket, leading a non-stop cycle of fresh legs and violent impact. With only Murphy and Williams starting all 17 matchups, it is clear this success wasn't just about a couple of stars avoiding injury. It was proof of a rock-solid system and a next-man-up mentality. But hey, sometimes the offense hits a wall, and the defense needs to catch its breath. That is the moment Seattle deployed their ace in the hole. Because elite teams in this league always find a way to scrape out a win, no matter how ugly it gets. Usually, we wouldn't dedicate an entire segment to special teams. But the 2025 Seahawks are forcing our hand here. You could easily argue this group was the cream of the crop, sitting pretty at number 1 in the rankings. They sat at 5th in punting, 2nd in kicking, and 3rd in returns. But the crown jewel of the operation is undoubtedly Rashid Shaheed. Picking up Shaheed mid-season felt like Seattle typed in a cheat code. The man was simply high voltage. He sprints like he is scared to death of getting hit, which is honestly the perfect trait for a return specialist. Back in Week 14 versus Atlanta, he housed a kickoff from 100 yards out, slicing through defenders like he was controlling a character in a video game. He saved his masterpiece for the bright lights of the divisional round against San Francisco, wasting absolutely no time. He returned the opening boot 95 yards for a score, putting Seattle up 7-0 before most fans had even found their seats. And the return. Shaheed finds a lane. He is still on his feet. Shaheed is going the distance. It was a knockout blow right out of the gate that left San Francisco reeling for the rest of the game. Shaheed completely alters the field geometry. Kickers are so scared of him they'll squib it or aim for the sidelines just to avoid him. They will do whatever it takes to deny him the ball, which essentially gifts Seattle incredible field position every time. Returning the opening kick for 6 is a brilliant strategy, especially when your quarterback is nursing a bad oblique. Mike Macdonald, you are an absolute wizard. And even if the offense sputters, they've got Michael Dickson ready to save the day. That thunder-footed Aussie snagged second-team All-Pro honors, crushing a net average of over 42 yards every time he booted it. You have two choices: hand the ball over right where you stand, or let Michael Dickson trap you in the coffin corner and let the defense eat. He drops that pigskin inside the 20-yard line with the precision of a pro golfer sinking a putt. Then the offense has to march the entire field against the scariest defense in the game. That is a nightmare scenario, with Shaheed taking it to the house and Dickson burying teams deep. This special team squad was a total game changer. They stole wins, crushed souls, and mirrored the exact same grit and grind that defined the defensive unit. Speaking of grit, one specific saga on this roster defines the soul of the 2025 Seahawks defense better than anything else. Derek Hall defied the odds just by existing. We are not just talking about making the Seahawks roster. We mean walking on this planet. Born 4 months too early, Hall came into this world breathless, battling a brain bleed from the very start. Medical pros urged his mom to let him go, claiming he had zero chance. She looked them in the eye and said absolutely not. He spent his first week hooked to machines, scrapping for every single gasp of air. So, when folks whine about football struggles, Derek Hall just chuckles. The man has been in a survival brawl since birth. Fast forward to 2025, and he ran into a whole new kind of obstacle. Week 16 versus the Rams. A flag flew for stepping on a guy. It looked ugly on the replay, and the league slapped him with a 1-game ban. Critics instantly labeled him a dirty player and started dragging his reputation through the mud. The locker room had his back, swearing it was just a clumsy trip, not malice. He had to sit and stew. But he was back for the finale against San Francisco. He refused to let the outside chatter get inside his head. He took that fury and helped the defense absolutely suffocate the 49ers, locking up that #1 seed. Let's get it. Even though he only started 3 matchups all season, Hall still clocked in at 4th on the squad with 10 hits on the quarterback. He was pure chaos in the backfield, proving just how deep this roster goes. When the starters needed a breather, Hall stepped in without skipping a beat. He is the living, breathing embodiment of that dark side mindset, scrappy, underestimated, and willing to bleed for yardage. This crew isn't built on first overall picks or media sweethearts. It is built on warriors like Hall, fearless gunners like Shaheed, and trench fighters like Byron Murphy. They operate as a single organism, and that is exactly why Seattle scares the living daylights out of opponents. That right there is the saga of Seattle's dark side, the defensive juggernaut that cast a shadow over the entire NFL. They carried a slippery-fingered offense through a brutal division to snatch the NFC crown. Best numbers, best plans, best nickname, but the mission isn't over. Piling up stats in the fall is cute, but immortals are forged in the fires of January and February. Can this wall of muscle drag the Seahawks to the promised land? Can they echo the Legion of Boom and hoist another trophy in the Pacific Northwest? Drop a line in the comments section and tell us your prediction. Are we looking at the fiercest defense of the decade? Or are they about to crash and burn? Smash that like button and sub to Snap Count for the ultimate breakdown of football's elite units. We watch the tape so you can chill. Appreciate you tuning in. And we will catch you on the flip side. I'm telling you, man, the grind doesn't stop. All right, we aren't finished yet.